Hello everyone, long time no see. What have you all been up to? Um, I'm excited to record this video because I was just going deep down meditation and was feeling very inspiring thoughts, and I wanted to share some of it. I hadn't intended to record a video. This is my first one in over 4 months. I wasn't sure if I was going to do any more or not because I've been working more on myself, and I want to focus more on walking the walk rather than talking the talk. That's not to say I won't also talk, because anyone that knows me knows I love to talk, but I want to focus more on, I suppose, living what I'm talking about rather than just talking about it, because personally I'm not a big fan of people that talk anything and don't live it, and don't, and that I've always been trying to, like, I try to live with integrity. I'm trying, actually, I need to stop saying the word try. I practice living with integrity. Of course, we're all human. No one's perfect. But I felt when I was recording them videos a few months ago, I was in, great place, and then life, as it does, humbled me. I went through a few months there which were very challenging. Things weren't flowing for me. I wasn't feeling, there was some days and some moments where I was feeling great. So I've still been having a lot of highs, but also a lot more lows, and it's been quite volatile and up and down, and it's been a bit confusing for me. I feel like I've made a shift again, which is great. And I wanted to share a little bit about my experience, with trying to heal myself, because I've obviously been living with a lot of physical health issues for a number of years, and also mental health has always been something that I have found difficult to keep at a healthy place. And then emotionally, maybe as well. They're obviously very much connected, emotions and mental. You know, so yeah, basically, well, meditation, I think, is essential for anyone who wants to understand their mind and their life more, and also life in general. And I think it creates much potential for changing your life in ways that you might desire. Um, I want to talk a little bit about science behind it, because some people think meditation's whatever, not practical or whatever, or a waste of time, and it couldn't be further from the truth. It's a lot of this is all backed by science now. Like, so our thoughts and our mind is it's basically electrical impulses. That can be measured by scientific equipment. There's different brain waves. There's like gamma, alpha, beta, theta, and delta. I think I got them all there. So, like, for example, the awakened state is alpha. No, beta, and then alpha is like more calm, relaxed state, where you're more suggestible to subconscious programming. And then, I don't know, theta and delta's lower again. Some of them's like your deep sleep sort of states. But basically, when you meditate, you can go into those deep sleep states while you're still awake, and you can consciously shift things that you wouldn't be able to do when you're in your normal waking state, basically. So yeah, so your thoughts are electric, and then your feelings, like, so in your heart, and your body is magnetic. So the body has a electromagnetic field, basically, and these work together. So you want to have heart brain coherence, which is basically everything's working in the same fucking direction rather than things going like against each other. Like, so for me, who's been living with a lot of illness and you know disease, basically, even though I don't know exactly what's going on, or specifically, um that comes from being out of sync, out of harmony within yourself and life. Different parts in conflict, fighting with each other. So what I've understood from in my journey is that a lot of that would come, a lot of the illness in my body has come from, for example, dense emotions like shame and guilt that I've unconsciously held on to and stored in my body due to traumatic experiences from childhood right up through my teenage years, um, that I've never processed or been able to, because I've never understood how to up until now. Because as a child, even other emotions too, such as like fucking anger and frustration, or say sadness, sorrow, grief, or fear, anxiety. A lot of these emotions are not socially acceptable, and from a young age our families and school and society programs us that, you know, these emotions aren't desirable or acceptable. For example, like, you know, you know, if you're crying, people are always telling you to stop crying and stuff like this, right? And that's okay, it's understandable. But you're basically, as a young child, what you're taking on board is, you know, you should never cry, or you know, you shouldn't allow yourself to feel these emotions. You know, and on a last level, like anger and frustration, it's a little bit more socially acceptable, but at the same time, a lot of us are still programmed and taught to be friendly and nice and kind, and like, you know, that is, you know, of course that's something we want to work towards and be. But if there is feelings of anger and frustration there, they have to be felt, because they don't ever get released otherwise. So again, shame and guilt, they're some of the densest emotions that, you know, they vibrate at the lowest frequency, and they create illness and disease in us. And, you know, especially the likes of the Catholic Church and all. Now, I'm not religious, but it's built on fucking shame and guilt, and making people feel like, you know, they've done something wrong. Like, you know, it's all about sin, and basically that's to control people, you know, because you're easily controlled when you're living in fear and living in fucking, you know, you're not fucking free and sovereign and able to think for yourself, like in a healthy way, separate from the systems, you know, maybe you've been brought up in. So anyway, basically what I wanted to say is, unconsciously these emotions you store in your body, a lot of us have this going on. The majority of us have this going on to different degrees and different levels, and it blocks us from being able to flow with life. You know, because a natural healthy response is, these emotions come up, we accept them, we feel them, we let them go, we don't act them out. I'm not saying fucking go around and take your anger out and people are go around crying all the time. That's not what I'm trying to say. But it's about how we automatically condemn these emotions without even thinking. This is all subconscious. Because again, like as I was saying about the electrical impulse thoughts, only maybe between 15 and 5% of our thoughts are conscious. The majority of them are subconscious, because we taught them that long over time, that they're seeped into our body, and they're now actually automatic programs. So that's why we don't even know half time what we believe or what we think. We're not aware of it, you know, because it's below the level of awareness. And that's where meditation, you know, and paying attention to your triggers and observing nature, things like this can bring these up into your awareness, so that you can at least see them. And then a lot of times you realise, that's not even true, you know. It's like, I've been fucking living my life feeling this way, or thinking this, or believing this. That's not even true. And then you'd be thinking, well, you'd be curious, what else is there that's not true, that I'm living my life based on? You know, so that's how we become to learn, how we become to know ourselves, and become more in tune with ourselves, by knowing what we're not, by releasing the things that aren't us, you know. Because knowing ourselves, like, we can never put ourselves into a box and define ourselves. Like, you know, humans are a lot more complex than that. We can't just say I'm this, that, and the other. You know, it just doesn't work like that. We're fucking infinitely and we're always, you know, life is always in a state of emergence. So each moment's a new moment. Like, so you cannot define yourself based on past experiences. You know, you learn from them, take the wisdom from them, but let go of them. Don't hold on to them. You know, don't we hold on to these stories and these narratives in our head, you know, about who we are and whatever, and they're just not true. So yeah, what I was basically saying, and I wanted to make this video shorter, I got carried away talking. So if anyone stayed with me till now, thank you for that, because this is the part I actually was excited about saying. Maybe I should have shared it first, but I suppose if you stop watching before now, then no, I'm only joking. I can't even pretend to be annoyed. I don't care. Do whatever you want. Basically, yeah, so the realisation I had in that meditation, like, and I sort of thought this before, but it sunk in more this time, because I keep getting stuck and feeling like I'm not being able to create this life I want, you know, and I understand the theory, but I don't know how to, because at the end of the day, theory it can prepare you, but you have to experience stuff and live it for it to actually, for you to really know it, and for it to work or whatever. Like, there's no good having theoretical knowledge, someone else's fucking secondhand knowledge, unless you can live it and experience it. you know. And like I've wanted to heal my fucking illness and be healthy and then create like fucking wealth and be wealthy, not for the sake of it, but just because I want to be able to do it, to know that I can do it, because I feel like I could do it, and it's like, why can't I do it? And I don't know yet. I haven't got that far ahead, but I did realize is I hadn't fully released a lot of stuff. So like a lot of times I was still falling back into these dense or negative energies and frequencies and getting stuck in them. And basically, as I say, the feelings in your body are magnetic. So it might be your mind that creates your vision of what you want, but it's your body that is the magnet that pulls your experiences to you and also pulls you to them experiences. So like say I want, all the good things in life that I define as good, but yet I'm still having these dense emotions in me. What's happening is like I'm trying to get to these good things, but I'm being magnetized to the fucking negative stuff, so it's still coming to me and I'm trying to pull away from it, I'm trying to push towards the things I want, and that's exhausting. And also, as I try to push towards things I want, I'm actually pushing them away and repelling them because they're on a different frequency. Like, I'm not magnetizing to them. And then when you shift into the good things, like the higher frequencies of like, at the highest end, it could be like gratitude or unconditional love. But lower down that frequency list where it's still positive would be like maybe things like acceptance, neutrality, appreciation's quite high. But like basically, you're not in the negative ones. As you shift into that and keep locking in them frequencies and living from there, then the opposite effects happen and you're starting to repel away these things that you don't want, and you're starting to draw to you the things you do want. So you're shifting, and then everything flows easily, like, because I'm now magnetizing the things I want to me, and at the same time I'm being pulled to them, and when I say things, that isn't just material things, it could be fucking anything, like, the feelings. And at the end of the day, when you think of the things you want in life, we really only want them because we think they're going to make us feel a certain way, but the key is to feel that way now, don't wait for them things to come to feel that way, because if you don't feel that way now, them things can come. You might think money's going to make you happy and you're miserable and you're working so hard trying to get money, and you get the money and you're still not happy. On the flip side of that is like you can get happy now, appreciate things now, what you do have, and be grateful, and the money may come then and you'll be even more happy because you're already happy. So it's like, nothing outside you is ever going to change how you feel on the inside. Like, it might sometimes help, but we source from within. Like, so true freedom is when you can begin to choose and cultivate how you feel on the inside, regardless of the external circumstances, And look, that's not saying like you can just click your fingers and be there. It takes, everything takes time to grow and evolve and expand. But that's the journey we're on, like, and there's more scope for doing that now than ever before in life, because the universal energies are shifting at a rapid pace now. There's a great expansion going on. More and more people are on this path. There's more and more help out there. Like, I've been getting help from a couple of people, a couple of women who, have really been. And I wanted help from people for so long, like, but I the type of thing about help is like, it's one thing saying you want help, it's another thing actually accepting help. Like, I've always been stubborn and wanted to do things myself, but we all need assistance, and like we're co-creators and we collaborate with each other, and that's the beauty and joy of life. You don't have to do it all yourself. But I understand it can be hard to ask for help, especially if in the past you found it hard maybe to trust people, or people weren't able to help you, or whatever. But obviously we have to help ourselves, that's the main thing. But we don't have to do it all alone. That's what I'm saying. It's easier when we work together, learn from each other. Everyone, we're all on this fucking journey. We're all teachers, we're all students, we all have a voice. So I think it's so powerful to be able to express yourself with vulnerability. It's not always easy, but like, life's not about what's easy, like, really, I mean, and like we be thinking like, well, sometimes I be thinking, why is that be so difficult? But the thing is, sometimes we're making it more difficult than it has to be. A lot can be said for taking a playful approach to life and sort of seeing it as a game that matters, like, or at least matters to us because we're fucking experiencing it. But there are certain, like, there's a lot of elements of life that's quite like a game, like, and you can learn these natural laws to make things go a lot smoother for you. But yeah, I'll leave. My final note would be try to, or not, oh, I need to stop saying that, not try to, practice having fun in life, and being more playful with, the changing phenomena that comes, across your field of awareness. Be curious, life doesn't have to be always a pure slog. I know it can feel that way. Fuck, it's felt that way for me at times. Over the past few months, I have felt just like, what is going on? But here, I'm back. So, I don't know what I'm going to do now in terms of videos, if I'm going to do any more or not. I'll see. Probably will, you know me, but they'll be less frequent because I'm focusing on my own shit at the moment. But yeah, you haven't heard the last of Lorcan O'Malley. Peace out.